leather gloves, we're slapping in hands. Popcorn and peanuts, we're working the stands. Pink cotton candy, love on a stick. Who's chasing the beer? The circle the lips, play ball. Play ball. Roll up the bases and smack it right over the wall.
Play ball.
Play ball.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Laughter Saves Lives live here on Strong Island Television in Paradise Studios in beautiful Massapequa, New York, or as Richie says, downtown Massapequa. Brought to you by, see what they do now? They put it on the screen because I always forgot it. Brought to you by the law firm of Barasch and McGarry.
They know you're a little butts.
Lawyers for the 9/11 community. They throw it up there now because John is an idiot, right? Mm-hmm. Bobby decided, listen, just throw it on the screen. He can't forget that.
You don't see anybody arguing with you.
No, nobody argues.
But I'll tell you, this is a nice backdrop.
Hey, Johnny, plug time. Say hello to Patrick, our biggest fan. You got to say hello to
Oh, hey, Patrick. I thought you were talking about me. I'm Patrick, too. I mean, I thought you were talking about me.
Patrick McDonald, every show for the last 5 years has come on in the beginning of the show and said,
how you doing, Patrick?
We got to get, does he have a T-shirt yet? Butch, find but don't call Butch.
Butch loves.
We got to get him a T-shirt.
Yeah. Here he goes. Now he's on.
The guy watches for 5 years, and I'm giving him a T-shirt. I should give him more than that, right?
Yeah.
Two T-shirts. Give him 2 T-shirts. The budget is small.
Well,
give
the nice blue one, and then they give the other one the gray one. So you give him 2 T-shirts.
Listen.
How about a hat?
A hat. All right, listen to me. Before we get into the nonsense, I want to pronounce Michael Learned's name correctly tonight. That's important. And we're going to say Cat Bello because I messed up her first name 6 times.
I think it was Catriana.
It was a beautiful name, and I messed it up. I called her Katrina. So she came on and she said, hey, John, just call me Cat.
Yeah.
Because she knows I'm an idiot already.
Yeah. Well, that's, you said it, not me.
Welcome back, Pat Marone.
Yeah.
It's been too long. And you came on a few weeks ago. You only wanted to stay a minute.
Yeah.
Son of a gun.
Butch called me on for the credits. Yeah.
Butch called you on there, and he said, we need you. When? Now? For how long? 30 seconds. And Pat came on, and you did it. But you were a trooper.
Yes, I am.
You came on, 30 seconds. You didn't do anything funny, so thank God we didn't keep it.
Well, it's just like my comedy act. I mean, we just got to keep it real.
Horrid. Hazmat Breakfast was this week, FDNY Hazmat Breakfast. I missed it. And I apologize to the hazmat guys. I woke up, I think, I must sound old on my allergies and air quality. And I said, oh, am I getting sick? So I went back to bed because that night was a celebration for my nephew. We surprised them at the Met game. First Met game of the year. We won 6-1 that night. That was the day he won.
Yeah, I was going to say, complete opposite of last year. Last year we made the playoffs and you lost every time.
Every game
this
I went
year,
to.
We're not even going to make the playoffs.
Every game we lost. Yeah. Every game we lost. So we went to the game, and this is funny. Tell me if this is, and I'm going to ask Kat what she thinks of this later, because my daughter is just about the same age as Kat. And if she's a foodie like this. My daughter likes to cook.
Nice.
My daughter. Love you. We haven't had a kitchen for over 2 weeks because we had our kitchen done because the LaRocchias have big bucks.
How'd the kitchen come along?
Beautiful. My kitchen's this big, beautiful though.
Yeah, but nice. They did nice.
Yep, beautiful job. So we're going to the game, and I made some peppers and onions ahead of time. Sauteed them up, right?
It's like your famous thing you always do that.
Oh.
That and chicken cutlets with no breadcrumb, not like real Italian.
Yeah, Santo always talks about them.
Yeah,
he eats like 8 sandwiches when he comes. I go, Johnny, there's 4 other.
Santos eats like there's no.
I said, there's 4 other people here. You know what I'm saying?
He eats like he's going to the electric.
So my daughter says, I'm on the way in, and my daughter says to me, she turns to me and she goes, hey, Dad, you did throw the fresh moots in the cooler, right?
Oh,
you got the fresh moots for the sausage, right? And I go, I forgot. Don't worry about it. Boom. She takes out the phone. Next exit, there's a supermarket right off the exit.
Wow.
I love it.
All that money you paid for college really came in.
Right? Am I right?
Pays off.
She has a master's in community sustainability. She wants to save the planet.
And now when she was at college, she learned how to call it Uber, and she learned how to call DoorDash. That's what they learn in college.
She learned how to cook. She had a beautiful apartment last year, and now she's back living with me. Is that like
you love it?
I love it.
You missed her.
I missed her,
Yeah.
but I'm saying what a letdown for her.
No,
right?
she loves you. You guys went to the
what are you
bar.
doing, Liv? What do you want to play with me today? You want to go out and play pickleball? You want?
She loves it. She's a good kid. She's a good kid.
She is the best.
Well, you got all good kids.
I got 2 good kids, and the other one, but
No, they're all good.
no, they're all good kids. They're all good kids. So the Met game, the tailgate was amazing. The sausage and peppers were
But it's
delicious.
not the same without me, Les Deegan, and John Santos.
Nothing's the same without you guys. When are we going to a game?
Pretty soon. Why don't we just wait until
Before
they get
they're
last
out of-
class? We can go we can sit wherever we want.
Before they're out of, we can sit in the dugout in about 2 weeks.
Oh, man.
So you're going to ask me about pickleball, right?
No, but
I know you want, but I'm addicted to pickleball. Now I'm not addicted. I play once or twice a week. I don't want to play every day. That's like a job. But here's what I love about pickleball, people. If you're out there, you're a little bit out of shape, you want to do something, try pickleball a little bit, get loose. It's a fun game. And we went down the other day and they have like a rotation, like you go down to the park, and it was mostly older women this day. And
now I know why you go to play pickleball.
Well, I told you this story last week. The one lady was making teams. And she goes, I'll take the kid. And I go, I thought everybody down here was older. She goes, no, I'm talking to you.
Yeah,
that's how old these women were. And they're kicking my tush, right? They're really good. But what's fun about it is you can compete. You can actually play a really good game with people you would never normally play sports with.
Right.
And meet some really nice people. I don't shut up the whole time, so I'm going to get thrown out of there. You know,
you don't even shut up at the Met game. You don't shut up.
No, I love people. I love people.
You get up, you walk around.
Look what we got on tonight. We got Matt. We got Matt and Kat.
Matt and Kat, yeah.
Matt, Kat, and Michael.
And Pat.
Pat.
Yeah.
Matt, Kat, Pat, and Arnie. We're going to call Arnie what? Lad?
Call him by his name, Arnie.
Arnie? Doesn't rhyme, though. So it's going to be a good show. Father's Day. I had a nice Father's Day. I'm glad you asked.
Well, I didn't ask. I didn't get a chance. I can't get a word in edgewise with you. Some things have never changed. John LaRocchia loves to just hog up all the time, and I try to get a word in edgewise with you.
Let me tell
Happy
you.
Father's Day, John.
Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. I had a really nice time. Tell me if this isn't a great Father's Day. You ready? I said, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Got up early. Everybody else is sleeping, right? Went down, played pickleball with all the old timers, right? Played for about 2.5 hours, pickling it up. Look at this. Look at you. See these moves? Right? Went down there. Then I came back home. Everybody got up. They wanted to go out to brunch. Now I'm not a restaurant guy.
No, you're a diner guy.
I'm not even a diner guy.
You're a diner guy.
You guys, but I don't like me. Not that I'm cheap. Restaurants.
You're a little frugal, not cheap.
Frugal. And restaurants. Artie, stop laughing already. Look at freaking guys laughing in the waiting room.
Frugal.
Jeez. Restaurants are expensive. All right. So I'm not
listen, it's everything went up now.
Listen. I'd rather have breakfast at home, maybe make some bagels, make some eggs. So
you make bagels at home?
No, you know what I taught? See, I'm so addicted. I taught Vincent yesterday. Wait till he tells his teacher or my son that you ever hear of a flagel?
Yes.
I told him that a flagel, when you ask for a flagel, they get a bagel and they go in the back of the store and a big guy sits on it and comes out, and that's what a flagel is. He flattens it out. That's what I taught. This is the kind of thing I teach my grandson, right? So he goes home, Mom, Grandbabs taught me. So anyway, where was I with the story? You're
all over the place.
They wanted to go to the diner, right? What time we got? Where's the clock? It's not counting down, Bob. The clock isn't even here. I'm good, though. I'm good. So they wanted to go dining. Nice, right? It was a nice breakfast. We had a nice breakfast. Then we went in the pool, the LaRocchia pool.
Right.
I have a big, huge 18 feet above ground pool. Went there, hang out, and then we had pizza delivered for dinner. No, John picked it up. In fact, my son picked it up.
Nice.
Beautiful Father's Day.
Hey,
enjoying the house.
The main thing is you're with your family, your kids.
Not driving around.
That's what it's all about.
It is.
But you are cheap, though.
I'm not cheap.
Yeah.
And we hired the comic for Idaho, our show in Idaho. He's going to be on next week, in fact, to close the show. Finally got a comic in Idaho, Little Falls, Idaho.
It's supposed to be nice in Idaho.
Yeah, I look forward to going to those small towns. As you know, I taught all over the country for the last 15 years because I'm very smart.
You can get all the people on the Witness Protection Program to come to your show.
Yeah, probably. So I'm excited about that. We hired the headliner, Seems very funny, very nice guy, very clean, a clean comic. Clean comic. I think you have to be clean out there. So here's what we're going to do. I don't see a commercial, a break here. So we're going to go right now. We're going to bring in Matt Dyer. Matt has been walking around the country, like not across the country. He's walking around the whole country. Bring Matt in. Bring Matt. All right. Now he's
Wait a minute. He's walking around the country?
He's walking corners.
I have a problem walking around my bedroom. You guys are going to walk around the country?
This man has you've started the walk,
Wow.
right, Matt? You've started the walk.
I got clap for you. God bless. That's great.
Today is day 19.
Day 19. Holy crap.
Yep. So I was going to start June 1st, but I don't know if you guys have ever heard of brown tail moth infection, but
is it gross?
It's pretty gross, yeah. I've never had it, but the guy that was going to drive me to the easternmost point of the United States in Lubec, Maine, he came down with some pretty serious brown tail moth infection. So I ended up starting June 2nd instead of
All
the
right,
5th.
that's okay.
All right.
So, yeah, I went up to Lubec, the easternmost point of the U.S. I made a video where I was literally standing on the rocks at the beach, and across the water you could see Canada. And that's where I started.
Are you going to Key West? Are you going to Key West?
I'm headed down to Miami.
All right.
The Key West thing is pretty easy for cyclists because they can do the whole bridge in one day. But for me, it's going to be pretty tedious and boring to go down and back the same way. So I'm headed. I started at West Quaddy Headlight in Lubec. I'm headed down to Miami. Then I'm going across to San Diego and then up to Olympia, Washington.
Tell the viewers again why you're doing this quickly, because we only got a few minutes. Why are you doing this walk?
Well, I just, this is my second long distance walk, like I told you guys last time, and I'm just kind of addicted to it. But I don't have any special cause. I just, same way Tom Brady wanted to win his 6 Super Bowls is how I want to feel that feeling when I'm the first person to do this. So I'm just challenging myself, and I was in the Army, so I'm pretty tough, and I like seeing how tough I really am.
That's like us that night. Remember when somebody said, "Can you eat 10 cannolis?" And we did it.
Yeah.
So we wish you the best of luck. We want you to keep checking in. All right. Is there any place that people can follow you on this walk?
Yes. So I am on Facebook. My page is 2023 Walk USA. No spaces, no caps. That's again the year 2023 Walk USA, and I'm also on TikTok, and those are the 2 places you can follow me. And
now let me ask you a quick question. I know we're John's rushing, but just curious, how many states do you do a day, or do you do like, I mean, how much do you do a day, and how long do you think this whole thing will take?
So it took me 16 days to get from where I started to back to where I'm from, and that was I'm sitting here right now on a 2-day break, and I'm at 240 miles in 16 walking days. So that averages down to somewhere around 14 and a half to 15 miles a day, and I will be upticking that. This is just kind of my train up first 3 weeks. I just did it. The last walk I did was a 24-mile day. I just did 24 miles from Auburn, Maine into Casco, Maine.
Wow. All right. Well, wish you good luck. Keep in touch. And are you going to pass through our area at all?
Like I told you last time, I'll be entering New York and Dover, and then I will be going into like the Fishkill. I'm crossing the Hudson River at the Newburgh Beacon Bridge. So that's kind of my route, not necessarily towards New York City.
Yeah, that's cool. I would love to meet you up there. Shoot those dates to us, and let me see if I can meet you that day. Walk across the bridge, bring you sausage and peppers or something.
All right, I probably will be in New York in about a month, honestly. So
it is great seeing you again, Matt.
You too. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for taking the time.
Take care.
He reminds me of my wife, because he kept saying, because like I don't listen to my wife, right? She kept saying, like I told you the last time.
Well, everybody does that. Everybody does that with you, John.
I know.
I mean, you don't pay attention.
We're gonna go to break, Patty.
Yes, that
All
sounds
right,
good.
and we'll
Sounds
be back with Kat.
good. Okay.
If you spent time downtown on 9/11 or in the 8 months after, you were exposed to toxic air and may be eligible for compensation from the $10 billion 9/11 Victim Fund. But most people who qualify still haven't claimed what they're entitled to.
I worked downtown. I didn't die. I was an office worker. I felt like there were others who deserved the money more than I did.
A major reason people haven't claimed the money they're due is guilt. They feel guilty claiming funds when others died or were first responders.
I heard there were 9/11 funds, but because I wasn't a first responder, I did not apply.
You do not have to be a first responder to qualify. This fund was created for everyone who worked, lived, or attended school south of Canal Street, who may have experienced or have experienced respiratory illness or any of the 68 cancers linked to the toxins. Even if you have a family history of cancer, there is a presumption linking most cancers to the toxins.
I thought it was too late to make a claim. My spouse worked downtown at a bank and died of cancer. Honestly, I just haven't felt up to it.
The government's $10 billion Victim Fund and Health Program have been permanently extended. You just need to have been below Canal Street on 9/11 or at any time in the following 8 months. To see if you qualify, call or go to 911fund.com to speak to a representative of Barasch and McGarry, lawyers for the 9/11 community.
There are many reasons people who are eligible for compensation are not stepping up to claim it. To those who are holding back, I would say just take the first step. Ask for help. Make the call. It's not too late.
I called and I qualified.
I qualify.
I qualify.
Millions of dollars remain unclaimed. You do not have to be seriously ill to qualify.
And we're back. Bobby's yelling 3, 2, 1 from the back. I'm deaf in one ear. It sounded like.
Yeah, but you had me say.
Did you hear him?
Yeah, I said.
Why don't you tell me?
I said we're on. You don't listen. Maybe this ear's getting deaf too.
All right. Our next guest, she.
I'm stopping you. Hold on. I just want to let you know that 4-time Emmy Award winner Michael Learned is good to go after we speak with Katerina. Yeah, it was necessary. She's good to go.
Okay.
We're good.
You're doing a good show.
Yeah, I was building towards. All right, so our next guest is special to me. She is a dramatic writing student, a daughter of John Bello, FDNY firefighter, and father of 4 who responded to the famous 2005 Black Sunday fire, where he had to bail out the back window and he died at the fire. Or later on, she'll give us the details, but. She's coming on. She's working on a screenplay. And here she is, Katriana Bello. I gave you a first name.
Yes, you got it.
Because it is such a beautiful name. You deserve me to say Katriana instead of Kat.
Thank you.
Yeah. So thank you so much for coming on the show.
No, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Of course. Is there anything we said up until now that you want to just straighten us out about?
It was all right, but basically I am writing a screenplay about Black Sunday.
Okay.
And basically it begins with the fire and then it spans into the 5 years of the criminal court case that comes after it. There was a big criminal and civil trial after my dad's death and Kurt Myron's death. And basically 12 years of my life was spent.
Now, Kat, you were 2 years old when your dad passed away, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the fire was in 2005. Mm-hmm. And like I told you when I spoke to you, I'm almost sure I was working that night. And when you're listening to something like that as a firefighter on the department radio, it's intense. Can you get into a little bit of what went wrong that night? Why the brothers had to jump out the back window of the building from the 4th floor?
So everything went wrong that could have went wrong. From the start, it was in a blizzard and fire hydrants were frozen, which couldn't get water to the appropriate fire. My dad his truck was supposed to be first due. So it was supposed to be the first truck at the fire, meaning he'd be on the floor of the fire. But because of something that happened on the way there, they ended up being second due. So him and the people in his house went to the floor above the fire.
That's what the second due truck company does at any fire in the FDNY. The first one goes to the fire floor. The second one goes above the fire. Good.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
So now they were 5 stories up, 4 floors up. And while they were searching the apartment, they could not find a fire escape. And they would look out the window, could see that there was a fire escape, but had no way of knowing how to get there. And they later found out, or we later found out, that there was a refrigerator blocking a hallway that would have allowed the firemen to get down the hallway and get to the fire escape to go out. But because it was a multi-family apartment that was illegally subletted to people, so there was walls built, and there was an electrical cord that was run through the wall to a space heater that caught on fire on the floor below. And so there was illegal walls on the floor of the fire and the floor above the fire. So
right. So let me just stop you 1 second. So the fire escape, when the building was built, is set up that you can get to that fire escape easily from every floor. But because of these illegal renovations that I guess the landlord made so he could fit more families and make more money, did not allow your father to get to that fire escape. So what happened from there?
So after the temperature started rising, leading to burns on the coats to be up to 1,100 degrees.
Wow.
6 firemen had to jump out of the 5-story building, which led to 2 deaths immediately, or not immediately. 2 deaths, one Kurt Myron and one my dad a few hours later. And then the 4 others were injured. And then a few years later, Joey DiBernardo succumbed to his injuries that happened on that day, but he did survive on that day and lived for a few more years.
He was in pain, from what I understand, John Butera knows that family well. He was in pain all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All of them were.
So now you're working on a screenplay about not only the fire, but what happened afterwards with the lawsuits and.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's the fire, then also what could have been done better to have prevented the fire, not having illegal walls. And also a few years before the fire, the city of New York had taken away equipment that could have potentially saved men's lives. And 6 months after the fire, they were able to create this rope system. So if anything like this were to ever happen again, these firemen would have the equipment on them at all time. So it goes into.
Let me just stop you. So it's a bailout system that we wear a little pouch, right? And then you could hook that up to a substantial object, a radiator or whatever, and bail out the window. And I don't know how many floors it drops you. I'm trying to remember.
It's 50 feet.
50 feet. All right. So that would probably be 4 or 5 floors, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So now if there's any situation like that, people will have a chance to at least go down a few floors to then escape through one of those fire escapes or those windows. So it goes into, my screenplay is a lot about just what went wrong in that fire and how like the injustice that really caused these people, like my dad and like the other firemen, to not really get justice that they deserved. And also the grief that the surviving firemen faced, and also my family and my mom, and who was left a single mother of 4 at that time, and how she dealt with it.
And now, did you do interviews for this? Were you doing the interviews during this, or is it like a documentary type setup?
It's a narrative feature film, so it's like a reenactment almost, like an actual movie, not a documentary.
Okay.
In order to research it, I did interviews with my mom, with one of the surviving firemen. I read all of the court documents that were public record that I could get. I was able to speak to a lot of people who gave me like the proper terminology when it came to actually working or being a fireman.
Now, is this your first film that screenplay that you're writing?
Yes, this is my first film that I've written.
Nice.
And that's what you want to do for a living. So you started here. What did you learn about your dad through this process?
There was things even things that were like, I heard a lot of stories that kind of let me in more to like his sense of humor, even where in little stories that I heard from Brendan Cawley, who was one of the surviving firemen, they had just met the night of the fire, and they had a conversation the day of the fire where my dad made some extremely sarcastic comment to him or something. And it was something that he's always remembered and like he held close to him, because then they experienced this traumatic event with each other.
Sure.
And I was young during the fires. I was 2, so I don't really remember much of my dad at all.
Yeah.
And I got these insights of like, oh, like this is a real person. This wasn't just like somebody, a figure in my life that I've always heard about but didn't know, you know.
Well, it's kind of good. You got to learn a little bit more about your father and everything, so that's pretty cool too. How
many kids that lose a dad at that age get to do that? So I guess that was good that came out of it. What process are you at with this screenplay?
So now the script is complete, and I am promoting it to get people interested in it. Trying to get anybody who works in the industry to take interest in it and potentially want to like collaborate with me in doing it. I have a website called www.johnblue.com, and I actually have a video where I speak more on like my process and just more information in general about the script. And currently I'm just submitting it to different screenplay competitions and film festivals to see if I can gain an interest that way.
Any friends or family members who are firefighters now?
Wait, any of my family members?
Yeah.
I have my dad's godson is a fireman, and a bunch of my cousins are firemen. My brothers are not old enough yet to become firemen. One's 18, one just graduated college, 22, but they're definitely interested in it, although my mom hates the idea of that.
I can understand that.
Yeah.
So how was your mom? How was your mom through this whole process with you doing this?
My mom is really excited for me, and I think she really enjoyed actually doing the interview process with me, where she got to tell me all these stories. And even now, like, she'll read my script and she's like, oh, do you want to like talk more and hear more stories? I have more. So she's really excited about it, and I think she's really hopes that it gets made just so people can know the story.
Yeah, it's probably very therapeutic for her. I know when people came to me after 9/11 and they're like, oh, I don't want to ask you this. Is it all right if I ask you that? And to me, it always helped me to talk about it, to talk about it. So maybe that's with your mom also and yourself, and yourself.
I mean, there's like the process. A lot of people as therapy do like journaling, and in a weird way, like my screenplay is almost like a journal of things that I didn't live myself, but I get to kind of write out and get it out of my system.
Yeah. So you give the website one more time. You're looking for some help with this project. If people want to help you in any way, how are they going to find you again?
So www.johnblue.com. I also have my email on there, which is katriana@johnblue.com. So feel free to reach out. I would love to talk to anybody about this.
All right. And I will do anything I can to help you get the word out. Just let me know.
Thank you so much.
All right. We'll have you on again. All right. Katriana Bello. Thanks for taking the time.
Good luck.
Good luck. Yes. Interesting story. I remember the night because you heard the fire progressing, and then you heard Maydays. When you hear Maydays, things have gone really bad. But then what was worse is you heard them call for the chaplain.
Now, were you close to that house?
No, I was in Manhattan actually driving the chief that night. This happened in the Bronx.
Okay.
And obviously everybody can't go to the fire. Just like on 9/11, everybody thinks, oh, every fireman in the city was at the World Trade Center. Well, there was still a city to protect.
Right.
If you think about it.
Yeah.
So no, I didn't respond there, but I listened to it progressed to the point where it was like, oh my God, this is bad. Wow. This is bad. So Katriana, awesome guest. We'll go to a break and we'll be back with Michael Lerden.
Hi, I'm Arthur Lee, founder, CEO, and inventor of LifeVac, a simple rescue device that can save a child's life in a choking emergency. All these people were saved with LifeVac. People may not realize that on average, 14 people a day die from choking-related incidents. Every 5 days, one of those is a child. As simple as place, push, pull.
To learn more, please visit lifevac.net.
Hey, Matt, I see you still in the waiting room. I think Kat left. Hang out, because Arnie's going to be coming on after Michael, and he's going to give some yucks, and hopefully he'll give you some laughs. So hang out if you can. All right. So we have a very special guest here. We're excited. Butch.
Oh, Kat's back, too.
Oh, good, Kat. Hang out, all right? I want you to watch the comic if you can. All right, thanks. So our next guest, Michael Learned. Let's bring her on. Let's bring her on.
Hello, how are you?
Hello. How are you?
Well, I'm very touched by your the former Catriona. Her story is that tragic story of 9/11. I remember it so well. Every second of it I remember. I was in Kansas, and I remember seeing something on the television, and I thought it was a movie.
Right.
And it was the actual thing happening at that moment. And I had to do a play that night. So I didn't know. I just was riveted and crying and as we all were. But I remember there was like an exodus of people all going to the church. As I came out of my apartment where I was staying and going toward the theater, which was walking distance, there was like an exodus of people, and we were all heading for the church.
Yeah.
There were just a couple of Eastern men on a balcony with drinks. They're not supposed to drink if they're Muslims, but maybe they weren't Muslims. But anyway, they were laughing as we were all streaming in shock to the church to pray for.
It's amazing what you remember. I think us in New York, especially, us on the job, fire department.
Still close to 9/11,
Yeah.
so you're still a little,
We were tunnel visioned. We didn't know what was going on anywhere out of this little piece of Manhattan for weeks. And to hear stories like that, as I traveled around the country, it kind of paints, more of a picture of what went on in the country. So I appreciate that story. Let's talk a little bit about.
Yeah, I mean, before we really get started, and I know people recognize this woman, but she, of course, played Mama Walton from one of the best shows ever on television, The Waltons, and she also is hopefully going to be up for an Emmy nomination for her show where she played the mother of Jeffrey Dahmer.
Was just going to say all that, Mr. Butch.
Yeah, Butch. How do you
interrupted,
Butch? So
I just want to say, by the way, Butch deserves an Emmy for getting me on.
You're not the only one, Michael. You're not the only one.
Deserves an honor, some kind of honor.
Let me ask you a question. Maybe I'll probably get kicked by him. Your first name. Why Michael? Is that your birth name?
Yes, it is.
No,
well, I'm gonna tell you a story.
I think that's a realistic
I'm gonna tell you a story. My buddy Ralphie.
Yeah.
Used to go out with this girl.
Mm-hmm.
Her name was Michael too. Same thing.
All right.
So, but I tried to call her Mickey one day. I said, "No, don't call her Mickey. It's Michael."
I did that. Yeah.
So tell us why.
It wasn't me.
No. You're both blonde. I mean, you could have been related, but yeah, she had the name Michael, and it was first time I ever heard it. So it's not.
People always wanted to call me Michelle or Mickey.
Yeah.
Say no, my name is Michael. It was like I had to fight for it.
Same way she got. You guys both got the same way.
So why? Why were you named Michael?
I don't know, but I was the oldest of 6 girls, and my sisters' names are Gretel, Susan, that she's the only normal one, Dorrit, and Philippa. So they're not exactly.
So they ran out of girls' names. They figured it.
I have a half brother whose name is Tarquin.
Wow, those are interesting names.
What is your ethnic background? Like what nationality? I'm sorry, nationality.
I guess English.
English, okay.
My father wants us to be Welsh, but I wanted us to be Welsh, but I think we're just basically English.
Okay.
What would you like to talk about first? The Dharma movie or the Waltons? Which one would you like me to ask you a question about first?
Well, it's really hard for me to get past your last Katerina's very
I understand because that's
on the same time I'm on, but
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Let me ask you a question about the Waltons first. All right. Now, I don't mean this in. I was never I didn't watch it on a regular basis. Okay, but it's a.
He didn't watch it at all.
No, I did.
No, listen.
I did.
Listen.
I did.
The Waltons. It was so long ago. I don't remember much, but I used to always make jokes about the Waltons. When somebody says, when they said, "What do you guys think you're the Waltons?" Because they were like the perfect family.
Right.
That's the way I remember. They were the perfect family.
Famous show, right? Famous show. Everybody knew you back then, right? How do you break out? Because I read a little bit about you and about, you weren't typecast after that, correct? You had other roles after that you were able to stretch your talent.
Well, I did play a nurse. I did play a nun. But I got to do a lovely little half-hour comedy series with Halle Berry and Leah Remini. And I got to wear pretty clothes and false eyelashes, and they did my hair, and I looked kind of pretty cool. And that didn't go, so I'm remembered for schmata, I guess.
Well, I mean,
that show was like a wholesome show back then.
Yeah,
People, they were like the perfect family. So
I'm not going to apologize for the show. Actually, it's a very good show. Most
it was. I remember as a kid we used to watch it all the time. I just don't remember.
It was a great show. It was a great show. I mean, so many people watched it.
Yeah.
So what do you remember most about the show? If you took one thing away from it, one person, what was the best relationship that came out of the show?
Well, Ralph and I we loved each other dearly. We were not lovers, but we loved each other dearly. That chemistry was very real between us. And I think we were smart not to take it further than just heart love. And then the kids who are still friends of mine today, they're like my second family.
That was the next question I was going to ask. If you still talk to any of the cast members, how many years did that stay running?
8 years, and I left it after 8 years, and it went longer. 2 seasons after I left.
Wow!
Without me, I don't know how they could have done without me. But
how did they do it? How did they write you?
Don't know. Well,
remember?
They brought in Aunt Peggy or something, and God, I'm just blanking on. She's a wonderful actress, and
Peggy Ray.
Huh?
Peggy Ray.
Peggy Ray. Thank you. I forgot her last name.
You know, I'm going to try to reach out and watch all these old reruns of Walton.
Wonderful actress. So they brought that same kind of warmth in. My character was a little judgmental and a little. I liked that about her. She had a little starch up her butt, Yeah, and she was kind of a little judgmental and righteous at times. But Peggy Ray came in and she was just all love and heart. And so she kind of, she filled it in.
Can I ask you, because you hear different, did you leave the show or did they just want to write you out of the show? Why did you leave such a popular show?
Well, I left because I had been pitched the show Nurse, which was based on a book called Nurse. And I didn't leave because of that, but it came along shortly after I left. And I just got bored, quite frankly.
That's going to be a grind.
Where I would be ironing or had lines like, what, and then what happened? And then where did you go? And time for bed, kids. More coffee, John, more coffee, John. Aaron, more coffee, Mary Beth. And they always wanted me in the shop, but they weren't giving me anything to really sink my teeth into because these people don't behave erratically, I guess. I don't know. So
that's got to be tough to be
serving food or being nice, and I got bored, quite frankly. As much as I love these kids to this day, and I love the producer writers. I really
makes sense.
The people on the show, but I got tired of ironing and saying, and then what happened?
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Now you were in this movie. What is it called? Monsters. The story about Dharma. The title of the movie was Monsters, right?
It's called Monster, I think.
Monster. I'm sorry, Monster. that role. You were the grandmother of Dahmer in the movie.
That's right.
So that sounds like a heavy role.
I taught him everything he knew. No, she's kind of a talk about denial. I mean, I think about it, and in the script anyway, he's dragging body parts in a garbage bag through her kitchen, and she's in total denial because she goes, "What's in that bag, Jeffrey?" And body parts, Grandma. No, he didn't say that, but
right.
You know, if it were me and a smell of death was coming out of my basement and my grandson said it's just a raccoon, I'd say, "Show me the raccoon. I'm coming down. Show me that kind of
exactly.
Up unless it's bigger than a raccoon."
So when you saw the role, did you think, I don't know, or did you say, "Wow, this sounds like something I could really sink my teeth into"? And
what you just said, the latter, yeah. They wrote a nice. David McMillan and wrote most of the scripts that I was in, and God bless him because he really gave me some meat to chew on. And at my age, you're grateful for that. You know, you're normally cast as a sort of generic, comfy grandma, but to have a grandma like her who was basically a good woman, but he gave me some really meaty scenes to play, and I'm grateful for that.
Now, as an actress, what I was trying to say before, it's got to be really tough to do a TV series because you got a lot of lines to remember all the time. Movies, which is your most enjoyable to do? Plays, plays, or movies, or the TV series. What do you get the most joy out of doing?
Plays, theater. I mean, I have to admit, I'm a theater. That's how I started out, and I worked at the American Conservatory Theater in San Francisco, which is a rep company. So I got to play some of the greatest roles that have ever been written for women. Chekhov and Shakespeare and Moliere and all those, and Neil Simon, and to bring it, and Arthur Miller. I have a picture of him up there. All those wonderful playwrights. I got to work with them, and that was thrilling for me. In television, it's kind of about, I think, who is it? I can't think of his name right now, but he was an actor. He's gone now, but he said, well, in movies, you hit your marks and do a hinge, you know, and kind of that's true. You have to sort of rev up for 2 or 3 seconds or a minute and a half when you have your little scene. And then it's close-ups, over the shoulders, medium shots, long shots, close-ups. And you're doing the same thing past the tea, please, over and over and over again for 15 hours, and it gets really boring.
Really,
I love the money. I love the money, so I don't want to talk myself out of ever being offered a television.
But the thing about being plays, like I've done a play before, but once I did The Honeymooners. But the thing about plays is you can't make no mistakes. There's no cuts out there, so that's a big challenge.
Yeah, you have to know what you're doing, or you have to know enough to know how to ad-lib your way out of it.
Right.
It's a line. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
And I guess it's a lot. You get that audience feedback right away. Pat and I both do stand-up comedy. And when you have a night where you're on, that high, you know, is can't be duplicated. I've never done drugs. I don't know. But that high, I can't believe could be duplicated.
I was just saying that to my husband last night. I said, you know, that first laugh, that first big laugh lifts you right up.
Yeah.
Suddenly you're way up there on walking on air.
Yeah, it's the greatest feeling.
Wow, you are a sweetheart. I wish we could talk to you for another hour. You seem, you never know what to expect when you get a star on, because we don't do a lot of entertainment. We have on, people from foundations or whatever, and we love every once in a while having somebody like you on. And I love when we come off and we go, wow, like.
Yeah. I felt like I was talking to, It's an honor to talk to you. It really is.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I'm talking to both of you. I wish we had more time.
Yeah.
Well, then come back.
Okay.
You can't just say that now because we really mean it.
Okay, me too.
Where can we see Dahmer? I want to see it.
Where can we see
the monster movie?
Netflix. It's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix. I'm going to check it out. That's great.
And is there any other websites you want to give out?
I just want to give a shout out to Evan Peters, who plays Dahmer. He is the most wonderful actor and the nicest, sweetest human being you could ever want.
You did a great job. Great job.
It's easy to love him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even, you know.
All right, Michael, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to come on for us.
Thank you. I've enjoyed talking to you.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Appreciate it. All right, we're going to go to break, and we'll be right back with our comic, Ani Price.
Zwanger Passeri has been delivering a true patient-centric experience for the past 70 years. You can always expect to be cared for with compassion, scanned on the latest technology, and a highly trained subspecialized radiologist to interpret your images.
Yeah, but oh, we're back. That was the short commercial. Oh, we're back. We're back. Laughter Saves Lives live here on Strong Island Television. We're going to bring out our comic. Ani Price is here tonight for us. You want to clap for yourself, Arnie? You can't clap for yourself.
I thought you said comic is going to be on here.
Oh, you know. Oh, that's Arnie. Oh, he said video. Hello, Arnie.
How are you guys?
Good to see you, buddy.
I got to tell you, after Kat, what she went through, I got to tell you one thing I want to do. You know, I worked in baseball for a long time.
Yes.
I want to give you guys a whole bunch of unopened 30-year-old baseball cards.
Wow.
To give kids of the firefighters, when like a charity thing. I'll put together a whole big box for you guys.
Nice.
Oh, nice. Thanks.
Yeah.
That's very nice, Arnie.
Now, what did you do in baseball?
I was the liaison for Major League. I was all over the country.
Oh, wow.
Everyone was happy.
Beer here. Beer here.
I remember I met you on a show once. You were a big hockey guy. That's why when you threw me, just when I heard you say baseball, that was like, I never knew that. I know when I first seen you, we were at one of the things there, and you came out and you were doing a hockey thing. You were into hockey or something.
Yeah. I was a sponsor for Long Island Hockey.
Oh, okay.
So tell us a little bit about what's going on in Arnie's life.
Okay, Ani Price has been around a little while.
Really?
I did get America's Got Talent. I was invited actually to go down to California. I didn't want to go though. I mean, you got to have a story to be on that. I don't know if you watch the show.
Yes.
But you have to spend the money to fly there and do all this stuff. I just was honored that I did America's Got Talent. I've been in Dominican Republic doing work. I've been in Jamaica, and of course all the local places. I love doing this. Money. I'm almost 70 years old. It's just a lot of fun to make people laugh. That's my whole thing about. But I got to tell you something about me. There's been rumors going around that I married a Playboy model. And people start laughing at me. Yeah, but it's true. I really did. I was young and cute at one time. She even thinks I'm still cute. She walked past me the other day. She says, "What an ass." Then my buddies are asking me, what is it really like to be married? I said, guys, it's one day at a time, man. It's like being in AA, one day at a time. This week, everything seemed to go okay. Next week, we'll see. My name is Ani Price. I'm a married man. I haven't made my own decisions in 43 years. I almost slipped the other day and had an opinion. Luckily, my wife wasn't in the room. See, you know something? There's not a guy out there that woke up this morning and says, you know what? I want to get married. I want someone to run my life for the next 43 years. But they think, hey, if I get married, I could get it whenever I want to. Come on, man. Wake up. You know that's not true. Women have intuition. You got to make sure you take care of them. You got to buy things, wine them, dine them, take them places. Then just maybe, if you're lucky, don't lie to them, and maybe you get something. Have I ever lied to my wife?
No.
Absolutely not. Absolutely. See, guys, the women think they convince you that it was your idea to go buy that $14,000 diamond ring. It was your idea. Come on, were you a moron? What did you get out of it? I know I got a Swatch watch. And I had to pay for it too. See, women are also very territorial. When they find a guy, they want to make sure they can keep him. So they wine him, they get him fat, they brainwash him. This way they're off the market because they're slim pickings. I mean, look at these guys. Yeah, you ever see a skinny, good-looking married guy? Nah. Doesn't happen. Am I right, guys?
I don't know. What do you think, Patty?
Well, John's pretty skinny. He's just not good looking.
I still could get her lingerie at Victoria's Secret. And me? Tidy Whitey, ShopRite, aisle 4.
They have undies in ShopRite?
I never put underwear in ShopRite in my life. No, I don't know. Maybe they do. I don't know.
Some of them maybe do. Walmart.
Well, I think what Arnie buys his underwear, he buys Depends. Maybe they have them in ShopRite.
It depends on the day. It's like the old saying. When I was a kid, I used to walk around with condoms in my pocket. Now, lactate pills. That's because you get older. But you know what she likes? She says it's okay for the dog to scoot across the carpet with his ass. Me? I fought a bird. Forget about it. The world comes to an end. Life's not easy when you're married, you know?
And they love those pets. They love their pets.
She loves to buy me my clothes. So she says to me, "You want to go shopping?" I said, "Sure, let's go." She said, Whoa. Did you pee? I haven't got to pee. Go. So I go back and, goddamn, how the hell did she know I had to pee? This girl knows more than Google. So we go to the store, and she gives me some clothes to try on. And I come out, and she says, "Give me a twirl." She give you a twirl. What am I, 8? Then she proceeds to look and says, "It doesn't look that great in the crotch." So what's wrong with my crotch? Do you see something wrong with my crotch? Huh? Nah.
You talking to me?
You.
Oh. I don't see anything wrong with your crotch, Arnie.
She calls over 2 strange women and says, "Could you look at my husband's crotch and tell me what you think?" I said, "Oh my God, shoot me now, man." It's all about marriage. But you know what she does? She says she wants to go on vacation. So we go down to the Caribbean, and I love sitting by the water watching the girls go by. The only problem I have with that is when you see these older topless women dragging their boobs across the sand. That's hard to watch. She says to me, "Think that's hard? What do you think these people think about you walking around in that thong?" Well, you know something? The next stop we go to Disney. FYI, guys, they opened up an adult store. So I said, "Oh, let's go in there." And I see Disney character condoms. I said, "That's what I need." And I see Pinocchio. You know the nose that grows? That's for me. She starts to laugh and say, "Ha, ha, ha. You need the Jiminy Cricket, the little one." So we get home from vacation, and she's downstairs fussing with the vacuum. And she says, "The thing stopped sucking." So I said, "Of course it did. It got married." The only thing you blow now is the budget. You know, she's still a Playboy model, son. She's still got the look. So I get her for Valentine's Day. I figure I'll be a sport. I go in the room, dress up as Cupid, and she starts hysterical laughing. I said, "What's so funny?" She says, "You look like Humpty Dumpty in those tidy whities." Okay. So I still got a little left with me. I get her in. We start doing the twist and shout and the Humpty Dumpty. And all of a sudden, she starts going like this with my head. She says, "What the hell are you doing?" She says, "Jeopardy's coming on and I can't see the TV."
Arnie, we have to wrap it up. Any place you're going to be performing over the next few weeks?
Well, I'm going on a 2-week vacation to Italy, so I'm going to be gone in August. And then you could find me online on Instagram under Arnie Price, Facebook the same, and on YouTube. You could search Arnie Price Comedian and subscribe for me.
All right. Thanks for coming on, Arnie.
I thank you guys.
A pleasure. Catriona is still there, and Matt. Catriona, Kat, thank you so much.
So far, Catriona is a tough act to follow.
Yes, and Matt, good luck with the walk.
Matt, yes.
Shoot up a text or a whatever, and let us know when you're approaching the New York area, and I'll try to get up there.
Will do.
All right. We'll
Take
talk
care.
to you soon, guys. Laughter saves lives alive. We're going to the diner.
We are.
Old leather gloves, we're slapping in hands. Popcorn and peanuts, we're working the stands. Pink cotton candy, love on a stick. We're He's chasing the deer that circle the lips. Play ball. Play ball. Load up the bases and smack it right over the wall.
Play ball.
Play ball.